this is it. I can eat what I want. I keep taking this injection and I'm like this. And I just think it needs to be in the hands of older people that totally understand there could be side effects to this.
The outline you here really small and on my chin pointy.
I don't like it at all. No. No.
Ryan Gosling's appearance at the Los Angeles red carpet premiere of The Fall Guy sparked a lot of rumors of plastic surgery and facial filler usage online. As the Oscar nominee posed alongside his co-star Emily Blunt, fans on social media speculated that Ryan may have undergone some form of cosmetic procedure due to a perceived subtle difference in his facial features. Chicago-based doctor, who has not treated Ryan, Dr. Autoplastics, said that it did appear that he had a significantly larger cheek fullness that is compatible with fillers or implants. The expert added that the odd-looking appearance of the outer corner of his eyes while smiling also suggested that he might have had some Botox for the crow's feet. Kylie Jenner, the Keeping Up with the Kardashian star, has basically grown up in the spotlight. So her transformation from youth to now being an adult with an offspring has been before our very eyes. Which means it's hard not to notice the drastic changes to Kylie's appearance in the more than 10 to 15 years since the show first aired in 2007. While fans have speculated about Kylie having undergone everything, we're talking lip filler, BBL, you name it, it's kind of hard to separate fact from fiction when it comes to her ever-changing aesthetic. But after years of denying she'd had lip filler, the star eventually came clean about that particular cosmetic touch-up. During a 2015 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kylie admitted, and I quote, "I have temporary lip fillers, it's just an insecurity of mine and it's what I wanted to do, but it's a little bit sad when you look about why she got it done." She mentioned that when she was young, she was insecure about her lips. Apparently her lips are naturally on the smaller side, and she mentioned that during one of her first kisses, a guy commented on that. He's like, "Oh, I don't think you'd be a good kisser because you have small lips." So then she's like, "Okay, let's fix that." She did admit that at one point she made her lips a little too big, and then her sisters were like, "Look, girl, we see it, you gotta chill." They were definitely right to let her know when it was becoming too much. Donatella Versace is a fashion icon who has been in the public eye for decades and has undergone a striking transformation over the years. So if you look at her face, the skin, it's very tight, very smooth, not a lot of wrinkles, but we can thank the facelift for that. Her cheeks are, something. Could be the result of implants or filler, but here's the thing, she's had a lot of work done, but it's not very balanced. She gets all that filler in her lips and her mouth just, balloons up, but she hasn't had enough volume restored to her cheeks, so it's a little disproportionate. Also, her face and the rest of her body doesn't really match, her skin, it's getting there. It's quite leathery looking, and her chest implants are kind of out of proportion for the rest of her body, so it's very etch-a-sketch. Jamie Lee Curtis has been honest about her troublesome feelings about aging and how her efforts to help it have actually hindered her work. So in a 2002 interview, she admitted to having a couple of procedures, lipo, Botox, but she didn't like the results of any of them. She even had some problems post-op. However, it was surgery on her under-eye bags in her 20s that she said actually hurt her ability to make a movie. She was completely cut from the cast, and that was her wake-up call. She's like, "Okay, we're done, we're out." Former star of The Hills, Heidi Montag, underwent 10 procedures in 24 hours when she was just 23. We're talking brow lift, Botox, nose job, chin reduction, neck, lipo, ear pinning, filler in the cheek, the lip, the smile lines, whole thing. And this was also dangerous that she actually technically died for a minute while in recovery. So with that much surgery, she had to have a nurse by her side the entire time, and her husband was very concerned. And at one point, her security guards called him and were like, "Hey, her heart stopped. We don't think she's going to make it." Now, Heidi herself has called all of this a mistake. She mentioned that some folks have fewer scars from car accidents than she had on her body from all of this. And to the shock and surprise of nobody, the poor thing had a lot of health problems because of these multiple surgeries, and after getting some of those enhancements reversed in 2013, she mentioned to news outlets that she was struggling with a decision. She said she didn't want to go back under surgery because it was just so traumatic, it was something she never wanted to be. She was so sick of being the surgery girl, and the last thing she wanted to do was to bring all that back up, but it was such a nightmare in her life. But she realized she had to do it. She's like, well, it's not really a choice, it's affecting my health, and I'm glad she put her health first. So while I totally agree that nobody puts baby in a corner, Jennifer Grey definitely put her career in one after she got a nose job in 1989 that made her, well, unrecognizable. So despite the success of Dirty Dancing, Grey felt that her looks would place restrictions on the type of future roles that she would be considered for. So following the advice of her mother, and not one, not two, but 3 plastic surgeons, one of whom recalled seeing Dirty Dancing and was like, why didn't that girl get her nose done? She underwent 2 surgeries to fine-tune her schnoz. So the second procedure, which was intended to correct a little bit of a problem caused by the first, was a lot more aggressive than was planned. So the new nose was described as truncated and dwarfed, and Jennifer was unrecognizable to people who had known her for years, and it completely restricted her ability to book acting roles. She recalled an airline employee who glanced at her driver's license and was like, "Oh, Jennifer Grey, like the actress." And when she was like, "Actually, it's me," the woman was like, "No, I've seen Dirty Dancing a million times. I know Jennifer Grey, you're not her." To quote the starlet herself, it was the nose job from hell. She'll always be this once famous actress nobody recognizes because of a nose job. She said it was like being in a witness protection program or being invisible. Priscilla Presley fell victim to botched Botox, but it was actually worse than you think. So this doctor claimed to have something better than Botox. Oh yeah, it was illegally smuggled silicone that was administered by somebody who was just pretending to be a doctor. I don't know how you don't do a thorough background check on people, but hey, that kind of explains why Priscilla's face is quite puffy. It doesn't explain the waxiness. That was probably caused by a combination of laser treatments and real Botox, but still, once again, poor thing. For those who missed it, Zack Efron attracted a lot of attention online back in 2021 after he appeared in Bill Nye's Earth Day special, and a lot of folks were like, did Zack get something done? So a year and a half later, he wound up addressing it. He was sitting down for an interview with Men's Health. Turns out he was injured in a severe accident that left his jaw completely shattered. He was running through his house in socks and he slipped, hit his chin on a granite fountain, lost consciousness, and when he woke up, turns out his chin bone was like hanging off his face. So this incident occurred in 2013. Zack had to have his mouth wired shut, he had to get stitches, and as a result of breaking his jaw, his other facial muscles, so the ones that are like used for chewing, had to overcompensate, and that's how his jaw kind of got reshaped. Zack went on to reveal that he had no idea about the online rumors and the memes until his mother called and was like, "Did you get surgery?" Tara Reid said her career suffered after her 2004 chest augmentation left her with rippled skin and some deformed pieces, and also some really bad body contouring. All this was done by the same surgeon, and it changed her entire body for the worse. She mentioned that her stomach became the most ripply, bulgy thing. She had this hernia, she couldn't wear a bikini, and because of how she was portrayed in the media, she lost a lot of work. And for 6 months after her surgery, when she kept getting told, "Oh, it'll get better," things just kept getting worse and worse, and she eventually had the procedures reversed. If you asked anybody to describe Michele Visage over the years, her prominent décolletage was sure to be mention number 1. Anybody who is a fan of Drag Race could quote a million jokes that have been made about specifically her chest, with the iconic Bianca Del Rio once saying, "She'd show versatility when Michele wears a turtleneck," ergo not showing off her most talked about feature. A former singer for pop group Seduction and a fixture of the New York City drag and ballroom scenes, Michele got her first set of implants at the age of 21, when she couldn't shake the insecurity she felt over her naturally small cleavage. Back in 2021, the internet broke when she mentioned she was getting her implants removed. Turns out the entire time she had those things, she was going through physical hell from the side effects. She tried everything. She saw chiropractors, doctors, cryotherapy, saunas, cardiology, because turns out she was having heart palpitations. At one point, she was actually diagnosed with Hashimoto's, a thyroid condition, and the doctors were like, "Hey, don't know why." Well, now we know. And that's all, folks. See you next time.